I'm over here talking to Dan. He's over here
Watching him steal your lighter. Lee Warfield, daughter, sister, friend, lover, mother, aunt, grandmother, great-grandmother, and at last, great-great-grandmother. Lee Warfield, waitress, secretary, bookkeeper, welder, union organizer, lobbyist, political activist, mover, shaker, changer, all of this and so much more. Lee Warfield, born January 10th, 1938, and completed her earthly journey on January 10th, 2018. The Hasidic masters teach that on the day that we're born, we are entrusted with a mission. A righteous person lives her life achieving her fullest potential and completes her mission on earth in the most perfect way possible. True perfection in the Hasidic tradition is expressed when our mission ends on the very same day it was begun. That is Lee Warfield. Some of you might not know how Lee Warfield came to rest before you today. I'd like to share that experience with you so that you might take away some of the peace that she gave to all of us that were there. On Sunday, January 7th, Lee was not feeling the greatest, and because she refused to entertain the thought of postponing our trip to the Smokies, we called in the nurse. She spent quite a while talking with her, and when the nurse emerged from Mom's room, she announced that although the doctor was calling in some meds, it seemed that she was determined to leave for the Smokies in the a.m. You could tell she wasn't feeling her best, but she was so excited. Monday morning, she was in great spirits. We loaded up and headed south. I'm sure most of you have one of those funeral announcements in your hand or in your pocket right now. I'd like you to open it and take a look at the picture there. That photograph, that smile, is 36 hours before she passed away. So now you know that the trip was a must. Most of you know that Lee loved the mountains. More than that, they were a part of her, and her a part of them. So oddly enough, we took a wrong turn on the way down, and we wound up having to go the back roads through the Smokies and up and down and around the curves in the mountains. She loved it. We finally got to the cabin, and she was so excited. Ironically, the cabin owners had left up the Christmas tree. I don't know if any of you know it, but that's a tradition in our home because Mom's birthday being on the 10th, she always had the tree up till then. So she was really excited when she got in there and said, "Oh, look, they left the Christmas tree up for me." From the moment we arrived, Mom took moments and spent them with each of us at the cabin, holding hands, hugging, sharing herself with each of us, and looking out the windows to her mountains. We were all still with her at midnight when she turned 80 years old. She drifted off to sleep sometime around 1:30 in the morning of her birthday. And then sometime before 4 a.m., she drifted off with eyes closed and $1 million smile on her face. When we saw that smile, we knew there was no doubt Lee Warfield had chosen to let go in the Smokies. She had chosen to be surrounded by people she loved and people who loved her, and had certainly chosen the way to do that. And just as she chose to do it all her way, she chose each of us. And made our lives that much richer and gave us all so much. Mom created this motley crew here today. She brought us all together, showed us a childlike love, complete and unconditional, and made us all here her family. And she was loyal and dedicated to that family. She quit school in 6th grade to take care of her family. Then, decades later, when it was to her family's benefit for her to have a high school diploma, She stopped off on her way home from work one day and, in true Lee Warfield fashion, took and passed the GED test. It's no surprise that she passed that test. From the time she was a child, she read every book she could get her hands on, escaping into faraway lands and off to distant planets. But she never traveled so far that she forgot about her own planet, her home, our homes. She championed causes great and small, beginning with the Civil Rights Movement. Later, it was the Equal Rights Amendment, the American blue-collar worker. She worked very hard to make all our lives just a little bit better. She was fearless, fearless in her battles and fearless in her life. She showed us all the true meaning of never back down. Maybe she wasn't afraid because for Mom, there were no big deals. No matter how enormous I saw the giant, she would just touch me softly and tell me it would be all right. And it was. She shared that kind of wisdom with all of us. How many of you can remember a time when she told you just what you were doing wrong in your lives and exactly how you could fix that? Amen. Of course she had that wisdom that came from 80 years of making the best of any situation. Throughout her life, she certainly became an expert at making lemonade from lemons. And looking through the photos of her that we prepared for today, we saw that $1,000,000 smile shining through some of the harshest times. The Great Depression, wartime, civil uprisings, and great personal and family struggles. But through it all remained that smile and a glint of hope in her eye that she shared with all of us. It is remembering that smile and that hope and that love that she gave to all of us that gives us the strength to go forward from this place and share the gifts that Lee Warfield gave to each of us.
I gotta pull it up, the instrumental. I'm singing a song for my grandma, my great-grandma, my Gigi. I sang this for her one time, and she really liked it, so. Sorry.
Gigi already knows, honey. I'm sure standing up there.
Okay, I think it's this one. We're just gonna see. Oops. Can you hear the music?
Hear you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day I'll rise up. I'm sorry, I messed up. I can't.
Just sing it. Come on. You're okay. Go ahead. She would love it.
And I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. We gon' do it, seed, and move mountains. And I'll rise up the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And thankful that we have each other. And thankful that we have each other. We will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you. I'm sorry. That was the end of it, though. So.
That's awesome.
This is an ode to Lee, my beloved friend. Lee, daughter of grace. You are the girl who lay under the wide blue sky amid the shining cornfields in northern Indiana. The girl who ran with her dogs, her sacred allies in the struggle of her young life. The girl who gazed beyond the brilliant sky and knew she was Fae. That is one who knows and sees, the visionary who would always follow her heart no matter what. You are the teenager who rebelled against the system, who protected her mom and sister, who stood up to a violent father in order to protect them from harm. As a teenager, you started working in order to support your family and continued working for the next 50 years in order to support your loved ones and family over all those years. Lee, justice warrior, standing, walking, expounding, spitting nails, unafraid to carry righteous muscle and fire into the world in support of the downtrodden, the disenfranchised, the weary of mind and spirit, the poor and the cast aside. Unafraid to love, unafraid to fight for right, unafraid to be fully yourself. Lee, loving friend, mountain strong with steadfastness and loyalty. When first I laid eyes on you, I knew you were a force to be reckoned with, one who would change my life forever. Your soul was one tough broad, and I could not resist its calling to love and be loved by one such as you. Lee, suffering and joy were your constant companions. You knew many losses, failures, disappointments, and illness over and over again. Yet the joyful child in you would never give up on what life could offer you. Adventures of travel, family get-togethers, Christmas, new shoes, books to read, eating good food, laughing, and having fun with others, including your beloved canine friends. You knew how to enjoy life to the fullest and never lost the essential optimism of your nature, no matter how much you suffered. You knew how to love fully, recklessly at times. Forgiveness of others was given without question. Love flowed freely and generously through you. And yet, life has its other side, the call toward death. So as your body began its long, slow journey toward completing your stay on earth, release and surrender began teaching you its wisdom and peace. And so the final pilgrimage took you oh so lovingly into your beloved Smoky Mountains, where death's door opened gently and gave you the gift of freedom at last. Lee, lover of life, family and friends, animals and land, sea and sky, welcomed by your loving Creator back into the eternal love from which you came. I thank you, we thank you, and celebrate you and the life and love you shared with us. And now we, the living, shall linger for a while in the light of your passing and await the day that we will meet you again. Thank you.
If you guys know the words, or if you pick up on the chorus, please sing with me.
deal. Everybody else was smart and wrote everything down, but I'm winging it, so it'll take me a minute. This woman over here, my sister, I've known her longer than her own mother knew her. 70 years. And she calls me her baby girl. And I called her my little sister, even though she was older than me, but she was shorter than me. So that made her my baby sister. And I got some funny stories about her. This girl right here, my daughter. Oh, you'll find out in a minute. I wanted a child so bad, and I lost so many children. And then I finally got this one. And my sister, you never seen her cry. But when this one was born, she came in my room and she cried and she said she's beautiful. So when I came home from the hospital, naturally she wanted to hold her. Well, it was kind of warm weather. She had on a pink shirt and a pink and white blouse that had daisies on it. Be quiet, don't interrupt my story. Anyway, I figured my sister knew how to hold on to a baby. I mean, she's a grown woman. And she's sitting there rocking her, and all of a sudden she jumped up, she hit the floor. And she said, ow! And she said, I said, what? She said, I heard her just as plain as day. She said, I'm going to eat that. And that was the first word she had said. The white daisies on Lee's blouse. And she said, well, she bit me. And Lee had a tendency not to wear a bra. That hurt. I said, don't you want to hold her anymore? She said, I'll let you hold her for a while. And they got a close bond after that. But we were 10 years apart in age, but after our mother passed away, we got a whole lot closer. And so we went out and we had a few little drinks, and we parked on the corner of where Smoketown is and Jim Dandy's. And we decided to clear our conscience with everything. And I told her stories, and she told me stories, and that's how we got like this. And found out we had a lot more in common than we thought we did. And whenever I had trouble or hurt or upset, she knew just what to say to me. And one Christmas, I had this no-good boyfriend, as many know what I'm talking about, and really hurt me bad. And I was trying so hard not to cry in front of my kids, and tears started going down my eyes, and I went in the bedroom, and my sister got up and came in there with me, and I started crying real hard, and she put her arms around me, and we laid in there on my bed together hugging. She said, I know how you feel. And she really did, and I couldn't believe it. And she made me feel so much better because we led two different lifestyles. And I didn't think anybody could understand how I felt. And that was the best Christmas I ever had. One of the best. All of them were good with her. She was all about family and all about the holidays and us all getting together anytime, you know, at a picnic or, you know, taking a little trip somewhere, you know. And when we were kids and our mother was still alive, every weekend, and we were plenty poor, we always went somewhere. Daniel Boone Fort, you know, just little places, Pine Mountain, all kinds of little places like that. I got more education on the weekends than I ever did at school. And my mom would make sandwiches and make a jug of coffee, and we'd stop at the little picnic tables on the side of the road and eat them. And we'd have the best time. And you talk about her being a tough girl, you better believe it. Her own father was scared to death of her. And I was always happy when she was there. So if they started having a fight, he wouldn't fight when she was around. And when she would leave, I'd always want to go with her. And she came home one night, and my mom had been into it. And she said, I'm going to tell you something. She had that finger poking him like this. And she said, as far as I'm concerned, you're not my father. My father was Mike Warfield. Said, he treated me like his daughter. He never made a difference between me and Mike Lane. He said, that's my sister, and you treat her like a dog. And she said, I'll never call you my dad. And she said, you ever put a hand on her or my mom again? She said, I'll personally hurt you. So Mom used to wash his white shirts and starch them and everything for him. And before she'd throw him out, wanted him to look nice, you know. Well, Lee wanted him to look nice, too. So when he was ready to leave that morning, Lee took all his shirts off the doorway. And it had rained the night before. And we had a lot of mud right there in front of our house. She said, here, don't forget your white shirts. And she threw them all in the mud. And he never got his shirt ironed after that. So, but I get lost when I start talking. This one here, she worshipped her and loved her to death. And many a times we talk about her, our kids. We went through a real hard time when my mother passed away. And neither one of us had a job. And I got a divorce going on at the same time. I had 2 little bitty kids. Neither one of us working. We had nothing. My grandmother's house, that was it. But we had no way to pay gas and lights, the telephone company, LG&E, nothing. So we devised our plan.